Taz Effect hits you like a wave, a fresh new spin on the news you crave. Turn the page and you'll see the light, a different angle that feels so right. No more waiting for the truth to show. Every story starts to glow. Daily news in a way you didn't know. It's the Taz Effect that steals the show. Open your mind, let the colors flow. Daily news in a way you didn't know.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me here for the Taz Effect. Daily news in a way you did not know you could use. For those listening in over the radio airwaves, thank you for tuning in at gcpr.live. For everyone else, thank you for tuning in to watch and listen. It's Wednesday, and it's a wild one. It's a real wild one. Because let's just dive right in. Okay? Let's just dive right in. Trump admitted to insiders that Jack Smith had him dead to rights, according to a report. Hey, Nana J. So, yeah. Of all the legal problems Donald Trump Sr. faced, from accusations of sexual assault to business fraud, he most feared the Florida stolen government documents investigation by special counsel Jack Smith that ended up being dropped when he won re-election. That's a bit misleading because it wasn't dropped per se. They just stuck a pin in it. So I'm just saying, like, if Trump were to get impeached, they'd pick that bitch up and run it in for a touchdown. Okay. Hey, DJ. That is according to Morning Joe co-host Jonathan Lemire, who reported on the president's terror at being convicted during a discussion on U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon's Monday ruling that permanently blocked the Department of Justice from releasing Smith's final report. That is under appeal, because you can't technically permanently block it, but she's trying to. And here's the thing. We've discussed this on Conversations with Taz a multitude of times, because during the disclosure of Trump's various indictments from coast to coast, while he had entered the race to POTUS Mountain before anybody else. Okay, he had the longest campaign in U.S. history. Okay, that there was a lot of scuttlebutt. There was a lot of word on the curb that Trump was asking, would they make him wear the orange jumpsuit? Would they give him special privileges? Would he have access to his hair pieces? Like, he was terrified. He was really terrified. And it wasn't like he was winning the rest of the cases, but he truly knew that it was a slam dunk, that documents case. He understood that he broke the law. And for those of y'all that like to give Trump too much credit intellectually for the things that he does, I want y'all to think back to how and where he hid the documents. Like, they were still conducting business, and he had documents in bathtubs, in ballrooms, in showers. But y'all think that this man is capable of complex savagery and putting together intricate murder plots. Okay. With MS Now legal analyst Lisa Rubin once again saying all bets would be off if the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals decides to intervene, Lemire pointed out that Trump knew he was fortunate that his appointee covered up for him. And that's the thing. I wonder if anybody from the legal community is going to tap Eileen Cannon on the shoulder and let her know the legal trouble that she's gotten herself into. He's not smart at all. Remember, he was trying to flush documents down the toilet, and not just down the toilet in Air Force One. This is why, and when he first started talking about the pressure of water in the water pressure of toilets. After noting there was considerable second guessing going on after Smith elected to pursue the case in Florida, which led to Cannon's courtroom, Lemire reported Judge Cannon ended up putting a thumb on the scale significantly for Trump down the line. And you're right, Joe Scarborough. We've talked about it on the show. Trump has privately told people, more or less that he, Smith, was dead to rights on that one. That was the case, the classified documents case that he feared the most, he added. And I know there will be second guessing for all time in terms of sequencing of those cases. The one in Manhattan went first, got a conviction, but it seemed too many to be the least serious. And we will never know if things had gone quicker or if the order was changed, what would have happened. Okay, I don't know why everybody is acting like they got dementia brain right now, okay? Or maybe it's pregnancy brain. I don't know. All y'all locked up, knocked up or something. Are we forgetting the legal gymnastics that Trump's various legal teams were doing? Are we forgetting how Trump pretended to be broke? Well, using pretended facetiously in order to push off court dates and court appearances because he was shopping around looking for attorneys. Where he was asking for leniency and for rescheduling so he could find bail bondsmen. Are we forgetting how things were pressed off? We're not going to put this in the hands of the prosecutors because the prosecutors came through. They dotted their I's, they crossed their T's, they were there. And on top of that, let us also not forget that it was Republicans, the Grand Old Party, to white women predominantly, that were coming out, that were coming out with voice notes, voicemails, emails, written notes, video, you name it, to say, hey, he did it, he guilty. Okay, because in Fulton County alone, the self-proclaimed Kraken was like, I'll help y'all, what you need. And another attorney who was censured and then lost their licensing was like, hey, I can be a paralegal on this case. I know where all the bodies are buried. Show me where it's at. Show me what you're working with. And each time, what did they do? They had people come out with false claims. They had Black people that were part of Black MAGA, Casualty Farms, remember, come out and go live and cause issues where they had to take breaks and do all these side hearings and everything else. They put together a blockbuster push them off campaign. So, hey, Trisina, let's stop acting as if Trump has this long-standing history of skating accountability and getting away with things. That's not true. Let's stop acting as if the federal government has been covering for certain crimes. That's not true. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have corruption in our judicial system. Not saying that at all. But when things are working the way that they're supposed to work and people are taking advantage of things working the way that they're supposed to work, we can't sit there and go, well, it's a cover-up. It's not a cover-up. If Trump was skating past accountability, his ass wouldn't have 34 felony convictions. Hey, Rach. Like, he would not have been labeled an adjudicated rapist. We wouldn't know that he has a mini mushroom penis. We wouldn't know that he was lying to banks and financial institutions in order to get the money for his business ventures that never amounted to anything. He has not gotten away with anything. Just like right now, twice today, I have reported on Trump and his administration once again losing in court. So I need y'all to stop going, he's just going to get away with it. No, what's going to happen is they're going to start getting away with it because your representation is like the people don't want to be represented. They want him to get away with it because this is the narrative they're putting out. They're telling us to stop matching energy, stop doing this, stop doing that, and throwing their hands up and giving up. Y'all are rolling over and letting yourselves get fucked in the ass raw. My bad. Angry, I know. I'm killing you, Smalls. But that's what you're doing. You are watching somebody who is stupid as hell. You're making jokes about him being stupid and then giving him far too much freaking credit. And then you're watching him get away with nothing. And you're wondering why he keeps upping the ante, because you, the ones that claim to not be MAGA, not be fans and sycophants of Trump, you are boosting his ego. You are. We know that this man is chronically online. We know that he searches his name online to see what people are saying. And when you're out here going, well, he's just going to get away with, he's like, oh, they're going to let me do whatever. You are doing this. You are. There's no way you can look at somebody's rap sheet and go, they get away with everything. Not if they got a freaking rap sheet. Yeah, I saw that they picked up about the missing Epstein files, the missing Epstein files that we've been talking about for 3 days now. I love when they catch up to the party. The party is the party is the party. One day y'all will believe me when I say that I consistently scoop them. Okay, I got 32 flavors of that. Oh, sis, I'm on trials for the files too. That's why I've been teaching people how to get trials internationally. Allegedly. That's what I've been teaching people. Allegedly. Now, y'all, once again, Trump and his administration are trying to take credit where there is no credit due. A Mexican cartel boss, the head of a Mexican cartel, had their life taken. The U.S. is like, yeah, we brought him down. Well, we helped bring it. We gave some intelligence, okay? Intelligence until the last minute. From everything I've seen, we didn't know that it was going to be helpful intelligence. We were an accidental secretary, okay? Okay, Cliff Notes version. Caroline Leavitt, I thought you were baking a new baby for your geriatric husband. We thought this was going to be your exit plan because you were aging like milk out in the Sahara. Why are you trying to put a target on your back? You're supposed to put an arch in your back and take that mousecatoodle brownie's mouse-tipped penis of Trump's, and you're supposed to take that with the strawberry baby Earl. But instead, baby gonorrhea face herself, Caroline Leavitt, warns cartels not to lay a finger on Americans or pay severe consequences. Honey, do you think cartel level criminals give a damn? Two countries had to come together to take out their leader. And right now, the best anybody can say, because you done pissed them off, is stay at home, don't go outside, don't get caught up in the crossfire. And let me remind you, the U.S. can't fight. Stop trying to threaten people. Nobody is scared of you. You are not Debo. You're not. Okay, you're not. You're not the guy. You're not that guy. Okay? You are the United States, you are the 40-year-old virgin of the world. You're an incel. You're a red pill incel. That's like 4'11" and a half. Sit down. Shh. Trump administration issues warning to cartels as Americans remain stranded following kingpin takedown. You ain't learned nothing from Afghanistan, did you? You just don't learn anything. The Trump administration issued a fiery warning to Mexican drug cartels on Tuesday as hundreds of Americans remain stranded in Mexico following an explosion in violence across the country. First of all, why are y'all in Mexico? Damn, not even 5 feet. Nah, no, the United States is not. The United States is barely going through puberty right about now in comparison to the rest of the world. Like our balls ain't dropped, our voice ain't got deep, nothing. We still crack a lacking in the vocal cords all over the place. But US, y'all don't like socialism, so why are you going down there getting medication and healthcare like y'all used to do in Canada? Tassie Farms is old enough to remember when y'all used to get on the mega buses and send Mama and Papa on the mega buses over to Canada to get their checkups and everything else. And then when other people started joining in on that, hey cuz, thanks. Y'all were like, oh, we gotta gatekeep this. Let's pretend like their universal health care isn't the greatest. And now y'all were going down through the Mexican border doing that. How about you stop? Because I thought they were shithole countries filled with shithole people. Y'all said that the brown people were scary murderers and you don't deserve. You got to clutch your cuda biscuits to keep them safe. Nemesio Elmencho Escuego Cervantes was killed on Sunday during a Mexican military operation aided by U.S. intelligence. I chuckle every time I hear U.S. intelligence because I can see y'all online. I can really see y'all in my comment section. All cylinders are not firing betwixt your ears. There's a void behind your eyes. The leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, the CJNG, had seized power following the fall of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Wasn't his wife still? You know what? Pish posh with the details. Let's keep going. Tourists have been ordered to shelter in place inside resorts as cartel members erect road blockades and set vehicles on fire in retaliation for the operation, officials said. The U.S. State Department has established 24-hour emergency lines to assist U.S. citizens in affected regions. Why are y'all there? If Mexicans in the United States are so scary, we got to release ICE to get them off the streets immediately. They can't work here, they can't go to school here, they can't walk around here because scary. Why did they get safe across the border for you to go over there on vacation? And how were y'all able to recover in just a year from the financial ruin that y'all claimed that Joseph Robinette Biden dropped in your lap? How were y'all able to recruit that so quickly? Hmm? Y'all shouldn't be about a Taco Tuesday and Margarita Monday. Y'all don't need no butter chicken. Y'all don't need no naan. Y'all don't need to be in the H Mart. You don't need to put kimchi on nothing, honey. Everybody, melanin is scary. Watch out. It might rub off on you. You might get some rhythm. Why are y'all in Mexico? What you doing over there? What are you doing over there? Oh, that's right. I forgot that we have a predominant society of people that do this. I'm so scared. I called 911. No, I won't move back. I'm scared. And my scaredness is making me follow you, cuss you out, and put my phone in your face. I want y'all to remember something. Residents of the United States enjoy going to other countries, getting mad that many of them don't speak English or don't speak the dialect of English that said person is used to speaking in their little corner, their little slice of the US. They're upset that the rules and regulations aren't the same as the US, but will scream like they are finally recognizing what an orgasm is when people come over here and don't feel the need to assimilate with the brand of whiteness that they ascribe to. The Mexican drug cartels know not to lay a finger on a single American or they will pay severe consequences under this president, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said Tuesday on Fox and Friends. Let me explain something to y'all. Do y'all remember what some of the biggest stories were during the first Trump administration? Let me remind y'all. There was a young lady, went with a group of friends down to Mexico. She's chopping it up. Her friends came back. She didn't. I mean, her body eventually came back to the United States, but she didn't. Now it was widely speculated that drug cartels were behind her murder. Do you think the drug cartels give a damn about often one of us? And just like, unlike us, the rest of the world has access to our news cycles. The rest of the world has access to us on social media. They know who this administration gives a damn about and doesn't. They know as long as they don't kill a white man who's pretending to be straight and Christian, and don't give a damn, coming to see them. All, the rest of us are Otis. They're drug cartels, not the mafia, and this ain't Camelot. This ain't Texas. Woo, ain't no hold on. The little cars down, 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 down. What? No one is afraid of Donald John Trump Sr. or Donald John Trump Jr. No one. They looked at the father-in-law, Donnie Don's oldest daughter, and was like, you mean we're not dealing with you? We don't care if you're the ambassador for us or not. You're not meeting with any of us. Go back to where you came from. Criminal. I know what Trump said last night in the State of the Union. All 108 minutes of it. Just because he said it don't make it true. Just because he named it the truth, it don't make it the truth. I need y'all to remember, when it comes to Donald Trump, John Trump, he has lied even about his origin story. How many of y'all still believe the lie that he was given a small loan of $1 million? How many of y'all now realize that's a lie? If Trump didn't have a namesake, I would doubt his name. I'm pretty sure that's why he didn't want Ivana to name Don Jr. after him. On top of, he said, and I quote, what if he's a loser? Trump, you are a loser already. Because I'm pretty sure given a couple years, he would have popped out like, my name is Fred Trump Jr. Now, you know, in this administration, everybody hunching around. They don't care what you say. They don't care because it's their prerogative. We know that Kristi Noem and Lewandowski bumping uglies. Okay, them undercarriage juices between the two of them are splish splash taking a bath all about the Saturday night. Okay, they rub a dub, scrub it in the tub every chance they get. Okay, Lewandowski works about 130 to 150 days a year with his affair partner, Christy Noem, the bird-legged hoe. Okay. Now, a cheater is a cheater is a cheater, and there are very few smart cheaters. Okay, they may be smart in their career field. They may even have some street smarts, but when it comes to cheating, it's rare to find a smart cheater. Okay. Um, and I don't care how you identify gender wise, sexuality wise. I do not care what rests beneath your clothing. Okay. I don't care. I don't care. That's between you and yourself and your pleasure principle. Okay. Um, but Christy Nome was like, you know what? I'm gonna pull the ultimate man move. And I'm going to show, no, I'm not having an affair because let me parade around my pretty, pretty prince of a husband and show that I love him, that he's a good man, Savannah, and he's going to stick by me. I wish I was joking. Chrissy Nome flaunts her husband at the airport while extramarital affair rumors continue to haunt her. Are they haunting her, or is her face haunting the rest of us? Hey, Solid. I don't know. I don't. Not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. Chrissy Nome shared a glimpse of her husband, Brian Nome, in her recent social media post, who otherwise maintains a low profile. I would too. I wouldn't want nobody to know that I'm married to her. But that monthly stipend must be astronomical. Um, This comes as her extramarital affair rumors, her extramarital affair. It ain't a rumor, okay? After so many sightings in so many decades, can we really call it a rumor? That's like saying, hey, Taz, there's a rumor going around that you're black. What? Girl, let's get on social media. We got to do something about it. We got to clear this rumor. You know, I'm going to take a bunch of pictures with just my palms up. See? I'm not black. I'm not black. What the Raven Simon Gay say? I'm not black. I'm American. Your white ass wife reminding you that you black and enslaved. How that working out for you, girl? This comes as her extramarital affair rumors with her chief advisor, Corey Lewandowski, gain momentum. The Secretary of Homeland Security shared the video when she arrived at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport to drop off her husband for his flight back to South Dakota. Girl, you got private planes. Girl, you about the private planes. You better make it ring so he don't divorce your ass. What the fuck? Been to Reagan National. Baby, what? And you breaking all sorts of rules because you're not supposed to. You know what? You know. According to OK Magazine, this almost seemed like her way to clap back at her affair speculations with Lewandowski. It didn't do what you thought it did. This is the equivalent of a cheating ass man giving his wife some chocolates, some flowers, the smallest designer bag that he can find, and she taking pictures of it and putting all these inspirational sub uh posts all over social media, more than likely Facebook, like she's sticking it to the affair partner. Y'all still sharing the same undercarriage. Y'all riding the same ride. Y'all getting a cup out of the same water fountain. Are you okay? Are you well? Hmm? The video that was shared on Noem's X handle on February 23rd, 2026, showed her bidding farewell to Brian, after which she took a moment to criticize the Democrats in Congress for allegedly withholding the paychecks of the Transportation Secretary Administration, TSA, workers during a funding stalemate on Capitol Hill. How about we criticize you for not paying ICE? And for you using up the budget that was the biggest budget ever to get some planes and to pay for some dick. At least when Ivana Trump was paying for the dick, she got it at market value. And them mans knew how to shut up. And they didn't pretend to have a job in any of her companies. We knew what they was there for. They knew what they was there for. They showed up. They laid the pippity pipe. And when the plumbing job was over, they packed up their tools and left. Your chief advisor works 130 to 150 days a year. At this point, I don't even like Kristi Noem. Can't stand her, okay? Her face is what nightmares are made out of. And from what I hear, her breath smells like the inside of a morgue if the electricity cut off and the refrigeration went out. Now, this is not a good day for white women in hygiene. If you missed the Epstein updates, you can go over to YouTube and catch up on that. You'll understand what I'm saying. But I would hunch on her for the salary of the chief advisor to work 130 to 150 days. Because I also looked up how many vacation, PTO, sick days, etc. that they got. Baby, I'll max all of that. For that amount of money, I would slide somebody else. There's always a desperate lesbian out there. There's always a do anything. Like, look at Glorilla's sister, Brorilla. She'll do anything for $2,500. I'll slide her a smooth $2,500. Go hunch on her. Just hold her. No. Like, think of she having a gotcha moment because, and mind you, this video is more centered around her. And the video was February 23rd. We're in the month of Black History and the month of love. Okay? I know we canceled Pepe Le Pew, but let's get his cousin, okay? Pele de Pion. You could not spend the love day with your love? Or did you spend it with your love? Tu petit ami? Tu adores Lewandowski, no? Tu adores. Adore. Like, did y'all peep? They won 100 for Valentine's Day. But yeah, she's centered. Like, I her, but I'm saying about my man might get on the plane. I'm not really talking about you. Like, okay, yeah, if y'all think reminding us that you have a spouse, we don't care. And evidently he doesn't care about y'all. Because y'all remember last year when she took her family out for boigas over the winter holiday season, she got robbed? Secret Service husband, like extended family there. She had purse snapped. I don't think y'all like each other. Just now, there are many reasons why people refuse to get divorced. Might be the terms of the prenup. Might be somebody getting a stipend. Might be a lavender marriage type of thing. And here's the thing. You don't owe anybody an explanation, but at some point in time, if you have children, regardless of the age of your children, you have to realize that things are going to reflect on them. If y'all have decided you got an open marriage, if you are polyamorous, if it's a lavender, just say so. It is 2026. And before you go, but it has the Republicans, they're MAGA. They don't take kindly to LGBTQIA+. Have y'all forgot about Mr. Besant in the cabinet? Mr. Mink. He's gay. Whole ass out of the closet. Liberace level of out. Gay man, kid, husband. Be kissing in public. Be hunching after midnight. And be dotting Elon Musk eye and bopping everybody else on top of the head. He up there getting into fights like he is a silver cat tooth motherfucker mofo in primary school. He is acting like the little kid with black Air Force Ones that every parent gets a note home about every day at the daycare. I so wanted that pocketbook to show up in El Salvador. That would have been great. Now, Mike Johnson says he could have ejected Democrats from chamber over shameful display during Trump's State of the Union. Mike, you were laughing at Trump last night. And you tried to preemptively detract from Trump having the spotlight. That's why you decided to make history last night by having George Washington's gavel on display and it being notated for posterity's sake that you used the gavel. You was sitting there making googly eyes at JD Vance like, remember, you said when he kicks the bucket, when Mahalia comes and gets him, and there's some slow walking, slow singing, casket bringing, I could be your VP. Because I peeped the little symbolism in you choosing to wear a tan tie when the majority of the Democratic Party decided to wear neutral colors, not the colors of their political parties, nothing. They decided to wear tans and browns and neutral tones, earth tones, if you will. And those of y'all that didn't watch the State of the Union address with your girl last night, one, you're anti-Taz. You need to deconstruct from that. And two, you missed a good time. Okay, we had a good time. Okay, it was a rocking good experience. You got some history, you got some jokes, you got some in real time fact finding, fact checking, and unofficially, officially, we did have snacks, Tristina. Everybody that didn't watch along with us, in my bio, there's some clickables, $5 each. $5 each. Okay? Y'all gonna help pay for the charcuterie board, all the stuff that y'all left because you didn't show up to the party and I bought the supplies. $5 each. You got 5 on it. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all you gonna learn. House Speaker Mike Johnson told Newsmax on Tuesday that he could have ejected several Democrats during President Donald Trump Sr.'s State of the Union address, but ultimately decided not to so their shameful display could be witnessed by the American people. Y'all had people, invited guests, sitting on steps. Y'all were passing out medals like they were mints at a peen suckling festival. A man got a medal because a woman in his life prayed and his death was delayed. A hockey player was awarded a medal because his teammates unanimously voted when you asked, should he get that medal? Shameful display. Trump spent 108 minutes lying. He started putting lifelong politicians to sleep. You're right, Serge. Participation trophy POTUS. Multiple politicians were caught in 4K sleep, knocked out, not resting their eyes for a little bit, not dozed off. Sleep. They was. Melania damn near choked out an octogenarian. And why did y'all make that corpse stand up? The vast majority of Democrats did not show up. Republicans were moving over onto the side that's normally designated for Democrats for seating. Y'all couldn't even think, let's take our esteemed guest and move them out of the nosebleeds and off of steps and put them in these seats. And what was shameful was that the sitting POTUS kept forgetting who he invited. The First Lady of the United States spoke to and greeted one member of her family. One. She did not greet or acknowledge the Second Lady of the United States. But Usha, miss, I would never dye my hair. I see you wash that gray right out of your hair. I'm not judging. Do what you do, girl. Do what you do. Yeah, everybody was kissing. Kissing you is all that I've been thinking of. Kissing you is ooh, ooh. And you think that was shameful, but it wasn't shameful or inappropriate to go for the president to go, hey, such and such is back. We see such and such. He is damn near tongue humping a woman. Then he turns around and goes out the door and goes, I'll see y'all later. Have fun. Insinuating that they're about to go do the Maybelline Run Mambo. Oh, yeah, and Erica Kirk, she did all that, letting Trump dry hump her, kiss all over her face, cop 20 million feels, and she all the way in the back. No pomp and circumstance, no good lighting. You know she was mad. She trying to look as angelic as possible and trying to look like she'd been crying, but not mess up her makeup. And he gave her a 30-second quick. And you could tell by the look on her face, that's not what they agreed upon. That's the shameful part. We got a chance to watch a bruised up, empty-brained man sundown in front of the world. Melania Trump would not announce her guest with him, would not ride or arrive with him. He started off longing for someone, most notably his now fossilized dead daddy, to pop up and tell him he's a good boy. But yeah, Mikey Mike and the No Funk Bunch, yeah, you could have booted everybody out. Y'all expeditiously took Representative Al Green out because he held up a sign reminding y'all black folks ain't apes. But somebody told Trump, you will be popular. You're gonna be popular in hell. Oh, We need a presidential event at a cathedral where the president arrives by horse-drawn carriage ASAP. Just saying. Just saying. Now, we know that the men's hockey team showed up and the women's hockey team was like, we're going to be diplomatic. We're just going to say it's a scheduling conflict. They scheduled their morals to be somewhere else. But these are the U.S. men's hockey players who skipped Trump's State of the Union. While most of the U.S. men's hockey team visited the White House on Tuesday, not everyone made the trip to D.C. 20 of the 25 players on the U.S. Olympic men's hockey team visited the White House, but only 17 attended President Donald Trump's State of the Union address on Tuesday. So what happened? Like the number just kept dwindling. And I promise you, it didn't even look like 17 last night, but I didn't sit there and count. Full disclosure, staring at a group of white men, boys, whatever, they all start to look alike. Okay. And then to find out 2 of them believe that they can see ghosts and 2 of them are illiterate. You're right, Dredd. It did look like about 15 of them. 5 players skipped the trip to the Capitol and the White House on Tuesday. NHL regular season resumes with 5 games on Wednesday, and the PWHL resumes on Thursday. Jason Guancel of Tampa Bay Lightning, Colorado Avalanche forward Brock Nelson, Winnipeg Jets forward Kyle Connor, Dallas Star goalie Jake Odinger, and Anaheim Ducks defenseman Jason Lacombe are not in Washington, D.C. with the rest of their U.S. Olympics hockey teammates, according to multiple reports. 3 more players, team captain Austin Matthews, Clayton Keller, and Dylan Larkin, were not seen during the speech. Now, the latter 3, they may have had an epiphany. They may have woke up and was like, oh, we done boy boss too close to the sun. We can't do this. Now, the other ones, I don't want y'all having a bleeding heart. Go and see they stood up, they got morals, they not misogynist. They care about that mighty dollar for the love of money. They needed to get on schedule and get back in track. And they probably wanted to do some hunching. Okay? They wanted to do a little hunching before they got back to their regular schedule. They've been on a tight schedule. They wanted to hunch around. Mm-hmm. They wanted a little crunch and hunch. That's what they wanted. Like let's be real. Let's stop acting like every time somebody don't show up to something, it's intentional. Sometimes it's by mistake, and sometimes it's because they want to do other adult things. Okay. Somebody wanted their Boochie Cat touch. Somebody wanted to touch a cooter biscuit. Okay. And some people just want to make sure that they would be able to continue to have money. Especially after the optics of the phone call from Trump and the jokes that they were making. They had to, some people needed to go to the candy shop. And from the realm of, we're in the middle of a hostile government takeover. ICE agents smashed truck windows and detained man in front of newborn despite work permit. Who's a danger to society again? Because I am confusion. Who's the danger? Who's the danger? I can team my brother. Yeah, there's 2 sets of brothers. One set believes that they can see ghosts. One set is illiterate. And yes, one set of the brothers is the product of a prolific women's hockey player who is a coach of the women's Olympic. Now they have another brother who's at home. He ain't up there. But yeah, and people are like, I bet you she's gonna rock their shit when they get home. What makes you think that? How do you think the patriarchy sustains? How do you think misogyny is sustained? How do you think predators are able to go predominantly unscathed, especially if they have pale skin? They mamas, their sisters, their girl besties, the toxic bitches in their lives that tell them that they're the prize. They're not someone else like you, Johnny. No shit, Sherlock. That's why we broke up with Johnny. We don't want a replica. We don't want the Timu version. We didn't want the original version. We don't want nothing that even get a whip like him. Okay, I don't want a whip for that. Again, he's the devil. What will we learn from the water boy mama? That's the devil. Stay away from anything from the devil. That's the devil. A man in Tennessee who insists he is a legal resident in the United States was forced from his vehicle and detained despite showing documents to ICE agents. Juan Martin Espinola Ramirez claims to have done everything under his power to comply before federal officers smashed the windows of his truck in front of his newborn baby in a terrifying confrontation that left him running in fear. This is the tyranny outlined in the Constitution as to why we need well regulated militia. Now, in all technicality, our well regulated militia is the National Guard. But given that just a year and a half ago, y'all were all over the place with recruitment websites and putting videos out everywhere of how you were training your militias and talking about 2A, America. Oh, yeah. Where you at? Who you with? Who you with? Who you with? Who you with? Huh? 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 Thought y'all was ready to rise again. I thought this was the country of the Boston Tea Party. Manifest destiny. Revolutionary wars. Freedom fighters. Thought y'all were the descendants of abolitionists. Hmm? Where are all the axe handle broads? Well, the fangirls of Bonnie and Clyde and Pretty Boy Flo. Where are all the Hopkins? What? What are you doing? I don't think you're doing what you're supposed to be doing right about now. Not the revolution was supposed to be taking place. Did you miss your Uber to the revolution? Is that what happened? Or are you waiting for Amazon to drop off your costume? Or are you scheduled for Saturday between 3 and 6 p.m.? What's going on? Because there's too many of you dying. So wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I thought you all were the descendants of the witches they couldn't burn, that they couldn't drown. Thought it was all day, every day. Y'all need a new theme song to get you hype. That's what you needed? My bad. Oopsie doodle. Thought y'all, when they reversed the Dobbs decision, aka Roe v. Wade, y'all was down to hide people in your attics, your basements, your panic rooms, your safe rooms, everything else. But now that guess that no new choo-choos for the Underground Railroad. We're not riding the train. No, come on, ride the train. No, none of that. The conductors on strike. Is that what it is? Did they all get fired? Okay. Mm, mm. Now, from one story that everyone seems to be enthralled about, whether you believe the story, you don't believe the story, you believe she's alive, you believe she's dead, you believe anything. Um, there's an aspect that I've talked about regarding the Nancy Guthrie story for a while that wasn't computing for me. It was causing me to glitch. The whole she was out to dinner with family the night before, and nobody waited for her to get to the door. And the only confirmation we have regarding this timeline is that the family said she was dropped off that. Remember, she had a camera, she had a doorbell camera. We got footage of everything else, but nobody has come out and said that they saw her walk in the house. They said that there were blood and all this other stuff. So take a listen, take a gander. Here we go.
My mother blamed me for my brother's death.
It now makes sense why we don't have a timeline in the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. Transparently, everyone's innocent until proven guilty, right? Here's the reason why I believe we do not have a timeline, or at least an official timeline, in Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. Take a look at this video and listen to what Sheriff Nano says.
At 9:48 p.m., which is very consistent to what we were told by the family.
What we were told by the family.
Nancy was dropped off at home, and we know that because we have the garage door open at approximately, I can't stress that enough, at approximately 9:48 p.m.
This is why this is starting to bug me, and this is why there's no official timeline. You heard the sheriff clear as day say, this is consistent with what the family told us. Guys, that's not a confirmed timeline. If she was last seen with the family, and that same said family is telling you this is the time we dropped her off, that's not confirmation. That's not confirmation at all. Confirmation would be, hey, the family said that she was dropped off at this time. We have camera footage supporting that claim, and we have proof of an alibi. So at that,
real quick before he continues, I also want to think about something. When you're dropping someone off, especially a family member, a good friend, y'all have been having a good time or whatever, how often are you looking at the time and thinking, oh, at this exact moment, this is when I dropped them off? And why, if you're dropping me off in your car, am I going through my garage? And if this is a natural, normal occurrence for me, why wouldn't the abductors also go through the garage to come in and get me?
point, we can in fact confirm that the timeline is accurate, that she was dropped off at approximately 9:48 p.m., whatever the actual time is. That's why we don't have an official timeline. Everything is based on what the family is saying and what people are saying. Yet, have we been able to hear that it's confirmed due to forensics analysis, due to the fact of technological evidence, like they looked at the phones. Where were the phones being pinged? We have evidence that the family came back home after this time, so we know that she was dropped off and they entered the home. You also heard the sheriff say it's consistent because her garage door goes up, but we don't know if that was Nancy that opened the garage door. We have no idea. This explains why we don't have an actual official timeline. Everything is based on hearsay. Everything is based on speculation. We have yet to hear investigators clearly say everything that has been said has now been confirmed due to additional evidence, due to camera footage, XYZ. We haven't heard it, and that is why I believe, again, we do not have an official timeline.
Once again, from everything that I've seen, that I've heard thus far, I know that they were looking at the adults in the family, and they were like, oh, we've cleared everybody in regards to the adults. I don't know much about the younger adults, the children, the nieces, nephews, or whatever, but the Bitcoin, the getting an attitude, oh, I'll tell you this, who the other people are. Like, this is a young person. This is a young person covering for something. So what did you ask grandmama for? And y'all got into a tussle with because you thought that you could intimidate her, which is not far-fetched for this community. Where did you put her body when you accidentally offed her? Because she had a heart condition. So whether you raised her blood pressure too much and you panicked and didn't get her medical attention, or you knocked her over, and maybe you thought she was gone and she was just unconscious for a while, but you panicked. What did you do with her? Because this is not a fully functional adult. This is not somebody this on meat and potatoes. This is somebody who is in the Similac of adulthood. Okay, they going from Similac to baby food. Because no. And coming back and going through the front door and fiddling with the camera, because what was the point? And this is somebody who doesn't understand warrants, doesn't understand what could be stored where, what information that companies keep, and all these different things. This is, yeah. Because at no point when they asked for proof of life, there was no picture, there was no video, there was no Nancy trying to reach out to her family. They didn't set up a FaceTime call, a phone call. In this day and age where we've had enough kidnapping cases where they send out a picture, let the family, they send out a video, something. This is screaming a teenager, a young adult, took things too far and is in panic mode. Because why? And especially an elderly woman with all of these health conditions and all this stuff. And looking at the pictures, there seem to be some mobility issues. So they may not be consistent, because I have some mobility issues that are not an everyday hindrance or not an every moment hindrance, you know? So that could have been the case. Why go to the longest path? I don't care where your garage is. That's the longest path into your house. Why not just go through the front door? If you're tired, you got your living room right there, whatever, you can go and sit down. Somebody panic. This doesn't, and we're going too far. And I think the family, because now we're 2 weeks in, now they're offering up $1 million in cash. Because if somebody asked for Bitcoin, I'd be like, look, we got cash for you. We got cash. We come get the cash. Because Bitcoin is traceable. And that's why I said this is a young person who doesn't understand what's traceable, what's not, all of these different things. But you're waiting now. I think that the family has figured out which one of the kids is involved, whether it's by confession or them thinking about, like, hold up, LaJohnny, you were the one that was supposed to take grandma home. What happened? And the family is now saying, oh, we believe that, she's probably no longer with us. We just want the body. So you paying $1 million for the body? Let me explain something to you. If something happens to me, if somebody takes me and it's pretty clear that just the shell is left, fuck the shell. And I mean that. If I'm already gone, fuck it. Sorry, angry, but screw it. Don't worry about retrieving my body. You can have a memorial service and not have my body there. If what makes me me isn't still animating this shell, it's time to break some laws in my honor. Catch what I'm putting down? Don't pay no ransom. Don't be on a recovery mission. It's time to go Equalizer meets John Wick on a bitch. You understand me? Why are they paying? Why are they willing to pay $1 million for a court? Because you still got to pay for the funeral. If y'all don't pick out y'all favorite pictures of me, take whatever money was going to the funeral, go throw a party. Paying $1 million for. Love you still too. I'm sorry. I'll be better tomorrow. But no, I'm pretty sure Thomas feels a lot better. I think. Thinking one day I've broken his record with killing you, Smalls, with killing you. But yeah, something No. Or there's this possibility. Somebody is in their feelings because this type of person does exist. The type of person, and y'all may not like it because you may be this type of person. Somebody you like may be this type of person, but I'm here to be honest with you. You can decide you're gonna come out the bag on me, but you're gonna have to be quick as hell. Okay. There's some people, and it's a form of abuse, that they could have gotten into an argument and they were like, here, Dane, and just dropped her off. Well, they don't care. They will switch it off. They will not show any care, concern, no nothing. Won't say goodbye, won't make sure you're okay. That is a form of abuse. And somebody might have been like, oh, well, I love mama. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. If your feelings being hurt or you being upset or frustrated with somebody means that you turn off safety precautions, you don't show any care or concern, you're not checking on, because let's not forget, it wasn't the family that was like, oh, she missing. Like you can't absolutely not. And sorry, I have been covering studying history, covering history as it evolves, aka the news, for a long time, that I have witnessed far too many times catastrophic things happen to people because somebody was in their feelings and was like, oh, he made me mad, she made me mad, I'm not gonna check on them, I'm not gonna say nothing. You cannot roll back the hands of time. Life is not a TV show. We don't get to yell cut and then everybody get up and then you can high five and go off and be like, yeah, I love you, man, and go off for the day. And at one time you decide, you know what, screw them, I'm not going to check on nothing. That is the day that you should have. That is the moment that you should have. And if you are able to walk around and act like you don't care about somebody, newsflash, it's not an act. You don't care about them. And it would make sense for people not to make sure that she got into the house all the way, to not go back and check up on her, for it to be days before it even makes mainstream news. Because I had said something about it well before it got picked up on anything. That's ridiculous. I shouldn't be putting up a flare for your mother, and you have greater access than I do. Yeah, the act is caring when you don't. You're absolutely right, Nana J. But yeah, because it would make sense that, oh, we didn't care. And over the years, I've seen this. There was one time there was a congressional staffer who could have been saved, but wasn't, because her little friend group at the time, they were upset. So wasn't nobody going to check on her. She went out for a run, got injured, got stuck, and had a painful, slow death many years ago. 500 yards from her front door. And also, because there is a story making the rounds, Alpine divorce, it is a real thing. It's based on a book from 120 years ago. It is not something that is new. For those that are not familiar with it, recently a man was found guilty because his girlfriend died. He took her on a climb up a mountain and left her. We found out during the course of his trial that she was not the first one that he did that to, and other people were saying it. Now, unfortunately, because people don't like to ask clarifying questions and they seem to be allergic to logic, critical thinking, and research, people are thinking that this is something new. No, this is from a book called Alpine Divorce. It was written 120 years ago. And essentially, instead of breaking up with someone, saying, hey, I don't like you, we need to call it quits, we need to go our separate ways, and we need to figure out something, men have gotten the idea to take women to someplace remote, usually hiking on a mountain, like some type of extreme sport, and just leave them, abandon them. Everything but just getting a divorce or breaking up. And it's all because nobody wants to appear to be the bad guy. No matter how much people say they don't care, they do care. They care about public opinion. They do. That's why people wouldn't do, if that was the case, people wouldn't do or say certain stuff that they say in public. That is what it is. Argue with your reflection. But yeah. It is a thing, but I just wanted to clear that up because the story is making the rounds and people are like, oh, this new thing. It's not new. It is not new. And there are support groups for people who have survived alpine divorces or alpine abandonments. Yes, it happens so often that there are support groups for the women and femme presenting people who survive. Yeah. As a reminder, if you missed today's 1 o'clock Epstein Maxwell Files updates, they are available on YouTube at TazJ77. Otherwise, I will see you back there tomorrow at 1 p.m. and then back here at 3:30 p.m. Later today at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, I will be bringing you the next 1.5 chapters of Virginia Roberts Giuffre's memoir, Nobody's Girl. If you're not familiar with Virginia Roberts Giuffre, she was one of the more vocal victims of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. She is the one that unfortunately took her life last April. I am still tired from last night. My apologies. Yes, DJ. Hopefully I have an answer. Fingers crossed. Thank you, Jess. Where's Harley? Did she recover from yesterday? Harley is not talking to me today. And I'm pretty sure her and him had an argument last night because when I finally wrapped up working last night, she wasn't in one of her normal spots. I asked her if I could have a hug, if I could pet her, consent and everything earlier. And then in between the two shows, she huffed at me, gave me the side eye, and went and laid down. So I think she's going to be mad at me for a minute. In my defense, it wasn't my fault. And I did try to explain to her that super gonorrhea was not a person trying to get in the house to get me. Because she was like patrolling hard. And I think she finally figured out. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Wait a second. Let's see if she'll forgive me. Hey, Harley. Harley. You still mad? Are you still mad? A little bit? Okay. Can I touch you now? That rude? Well, at least you came in the room. Progress. Yes, I am innocent. Progress. She came in the room. Yes. We got that. Now, for everybody that did not join us last night for the State of the Union, keep in mind there were 2 protest events. Did cover that, gave some history, did some fact checking. I have some additional fact checking that I'm going to put up. The rebuttal from the Virginia governor is up on YouTube as well. But yeah, I went and bought all the snacks. Had a nice little charcuterie board out for y'all. Y'all didn't come, so you got 5 on it. You got to the end of the week. You got 5 on it. Yeah, we got progress. We got progress. I think I'm slightly forgiven. But as always, thank you all for joining me here for the Taz Effect Daily News in a way you did know you could use. So as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. Remember, don't do anything that requires bail, not in this economy. And most importantly, it only requires bail if you get caught. Okay? Okay.